So I've been sitting on the beach for an hour and I learned something. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. I'm not just saying it. I want you to think about it really, really deeply. I'm so thankful right now that I'm crying. I'm looking out the window of this plane because I grew up like this poor kid and I always dreamed of being somebody or being able to. I pictured myself flying on planes. And now I'm going to LA. Yeah, now. I think because we're in Vegas now, and I think some people are ready to gamble. You know, I'm in Vegas, and they got slot machines in the airport. What up, dog? This is Keith Kalfas with the landscaping employee. Trash shit, dog.
And that's what the money's.
Now, you've been getting your estimates more and more close over the years.
Well, we're noticing our crew that we actually put in this motivation games and stuff with the crew that makes
all the cell phones.
And you go, hey, it's right here. This is communications. That handles all the. My computer's broken. You know, and we refer people to it all the time.
And as business owners, you get those all the time. It's like.
So who would like to have one of those on the wall to point to?
I'd like to have a wall.
At least 6 months to a year.
As you're trying to do that longest format.
I'm trying to do a longer format, but
Reposting your winners and repurposing content infinitum.
Well, I think you said it was over there.
Now this might look green and nasty to you.
What's up? It's Keith Kalfas. We're at Logan Paul's house right now, and they're building a pond.
alright guys, I'm late to set as usual by an hour. Good job, Logan. Greg!
Pond guy, bro. This way coming down, up the pool, and then another waterfall dropping here. We got the bridge going right across in here, going into the area. And then on this side, we got 3 stacked slate urns where all the water's going to be bubbling up and coming out.
All right, this is what's happening right now with this pond. Deal. What stage in the process are you at right now?
Oh my gosh, what's that, 4, 5?
What's the process?
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't know the depth. Excavation, liner's gonna go in, so I don't know, 5 or 6.
It's like 8. How many books have you wrote on that?
I've only written 12 books, you know.
They got it all dug out by hand. They did all this by hand. This is beautiful.
23. Third of a pounder.
Chris, don't drop that.
All right, let's see the progress. Wow. Sweet. Oh man, this is coming along real nice. It's beautiful. Wow. Look at this bridge. All right, bro.
Hey.
Your name and the name of your business.
Weston Zimmerman.
And teach me what you're doing right now in this part of this whole pond.
Alright, I'm Weston Zimmerman from Tussey Landscaping. Basically right now, I'm just preparing this corner, this area, for the rock work that's going to build this waterfall here. So, one of the things I always do is just make some nice straight corners so that your rock work is stable, has a nice flat bottom, and it's not going to try to roll off of there. And then the rest, it's just art. Paint on a canvas. with rocks.
Bro, what's your name and the name of your business, and teach me what you're doing right now and why you're doing it.
Bobby Kenyon with CE Pont Sons. Stacking up the rocks on the side, filling in with gravel as we go. Keep it supportive so that it moves, doesn't go anywhere. You can walk in and out of it without the rocks moving. We do a lot of clean outs and stuff on ponds all year. So we want to keep them stable so we can clean them out, get inside of them, walk around them, keep it stable so it doesn't move. Probably don't have quite the freestyle out here in LA, but we do in Pennsylvania where I'm from. So it's got to be able to stable, got to be able to move with the freestyle, and
Got it? Yeah. So what are you guys doing right here? What your name and the name of your business, and tell me what you guys are doing. I know I put you on the spot.
Thanks, Keith. I'm Matt with Heiner Landscapes, and we're working on the edge treatment. We're going to have a straight edge on the pond so we can come straight down. It's also going to have water coming over the edge. So right now we're working on setting this basin nice and level, and then making sure we got the plumbing coming up, so that way when we fire this bad boy up, the water comes leaking over the edge and creates a nice secondary effect to the rest of the koi pond.
So you're basically creating a waterfall in the...
Greg, what is this thing you're stepping out of right now?
that's the biofalls.
Biofall?
So this is a biofalls.
Yeah.
Originally I made them out of cattle troughs, so you know the 80-gallon like Rubbermaid cattle troughs.
Yeah.
And this is probably like 10 generations later. This is one of our first patents that I got when I was 24 years old. I got the patent on this thing. I made it out of garbage cans, and garbage cans was the skimmer, and cattle troughs were the biofalls. So this is your biological filter. So the water flows up through here, goes through the filter pads, goes through bioballs or lava rock. The bacteria grows on that, and just like in an aquarium, it just recirculates, and this is what keeps the water clean.
Ah. Dude, this is sick. It's gonna be a work of art, bro. If you're interested in getting into ponds or pond work, look up Aquascape. They got events all the time in Chicago. Aquascape events, you could become a certified Aquascape contractor like Greg is talking about. And then they also have a huge event every summer called Pondumenium, where like people come from all over the country and all over the world to learn how to put together these amazing water features. So his goal is to teach people how to, because it's a luxury service, right? And it's huge, and when people see it, they love it. So, and supposedly in the field of like landscaping, it's the highest profit thing that you can do.
But they had like a crane over there.
How much you say a pond like this would cost?
10, 15, $37,000.14.
$37,000.14. Going once, going twice, going once. Anybody else?
15 cents.
You know what it is? I think you could do it for 25, 26. You add those containers. That adds some cost. You add these. That adds some cost. You put on Bernie's custom bridge. That adds some cost. Like there's a lot of little extras.
What's the size on it?
26 by 16.
That looks heavy as shit.
It's heavy. It takes a maverick man to do that job.
Man, look at all of this food. This is awesome. They got the vegetarian burgers for the vegetarian style. They're putting the foam in.
And then a little bit heavier where it is. Fill up the void space. So I don't need to fill all the way up to here. I just need to put it down, and then we'll put some gravel on top of that, and then it will just flow. So we're keeping the water flowing over. And the nice thing about expandable foam is you can if you don't like it, if you don't like the way the water flows, you can just rip it apart and refoam it. So you have to think like water. So I know water's going to go back here right now. So I'll just fill in that little area right there, and now it'll keep all the water diverted down there. So now this is pretty much a waterproof thing. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes to dry. We'll cover it with gravel, and then the water will just flow right out the top. And then down here, Ed, you want to show them what you're doing down here where we're not in the biofalls? You can see this. If we wouldn't put gravel in here or foam in here, then all the water would go in down there instead of over. So what we're going to do, this is real simple.
So when we're doing our excavation, we over dig everything, and then we place the rocks where they look good. So the problem with that is it looks good, but you have to, those voids have to be filled. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill those voids with gravel. That'll give us the good structural integrity that we're looking for. But all that gravel is super porous. The rock here, liners on this side. So now we're going to bridge across that. You have to hit that liner edge. That's the key, because that's going to be...
Wow. They're working in the dark, bro. So, I missed because my battery died and my camera had to run back. You're putting this black foam in right now? What is this?
So basically, down here is the waterfall. This has all been foamed. Underneath this black membrane is this foam, this expandable foam, which creates the bridge from rock to liner, so that the water doesn't just all go through the crevices behind this rock. It actually builds up and flows over the front, which is where we want it.
Okay.
So then we got to follow that bond back and just build that bond all the way till we get above water level, all the way both sides.
But why don't you want it going in underneath the cracks?
Well, the beautiful part about this waterfall is water flowing over rocks, cascading, clean breaks, which is the pretty part. And you want the maximum amount of water flowing over the top. If you don't do this process, 100% or 90% of your water goes through the cracks, behind the rock. You can never get a solid bond from liner to rock.
Oh, so it's all visual and aesthetic?
So yeah, exactly. So it's all about blocking the water's channels to go underneath rock and forcing it to flow over top of the rock. For the aesthetic of the waterfall. Which is what happens in nature. Like little crevices block up with leaves and junk, and then it builds up over rocks and creates waterfalls and all that.
Makes sense?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Satisfying when you talk about it. There's something you can sink your teeth into that information.
So right here, if I would not foam this, a large portion of water would go right down through this hole. It's all porous, it's all gravel, all the way down to the bottom, the next level. So I'm actually going to foam this and see what happens here.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah. And then it's going to force this water to come through here and just come gushing to the side through this little crevice right here, which is going to create a cool effect.
Yeah. So
now I just blocked all that water from going straight down through. It's going to go straight over the top. And that's what you want.
Sweet.
Now just kind of...
Oh, okay.
You know, this stuff gets hard.
Nice.
But it's completely invisible when you're done.
Cool. Say what you were saying.
So, speaking of the artistic element of this, you can see by looking at this waterfall that you get directional lateral motion with the water. So it falls off this, everything's blocked off over here, so it's forced to pull up and then fall that way. So it's falling here, falling that way, falling that direction, down into there, and everything's just dug out to achieve that. So instead of digging a long, straight trough, instead of just digging a long, straight trough with levels going up the trough and then throwing rocks in, so you have like basically a cattle trough just with water flowing down over it, we dig half circles and then the rock just kind of dictates, this works out, we're going to set this rock this way, and then the next one we'll set this way, so it like creates that serpentine lateral motion, which is the artistic thing that makes it look like nature when the water's not just going down through a straight trough. The other thing you don't want to do is an excavation. People naturally think you have to dig at a slight uphill slant so that the water can run downhill, which is, we all do it when we first build a pond. But you actually want to dig level or even slightly back, so that, and then pick a rock. So let's say that right here you can see the liner. This here's the liner, that's the level. This rock needs to be at least 2 inches higher than that liner, so that you actually have standing still water in here.
Oh, so it fills up.
Yeah, you don't have water running down at a 5-degree angle over gravel, which looks really artificial. If it falls, fills up, falls, fills up, it looks a lot more natural.
So it's naturally falling down each progressive step.
Yep.
Cascading down. Beautiful. I love the way you're talking and explaining it too, because it's like I'm totally into everything that he's saying, because it's conceptual and tactical at the same time.
It is, and after you do it 100 times, you start to predict. You start to learn the language of water, what the water's going to do. You know, I can already tell you pretty much exactly what this water's going to do. I mean, if you get this angle down here, I'll show you. So if you stand down there,
this dude's totally in his element right now.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
So if you go down there once, I want to show the camera what.
We get a new clip. Okay. I'm down here now. I'm down here. I'm in the pond, bro. Okay. I'm in the pond. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Now finish what you're saying.
So you can see the whole stream down through here to The water has not run down through here yet. It's not 100% finished. It just looks like kind of a conglomeration of rockwork, right? How do you predict what the water's going to do? But you got your, what we call the framing boulders on either side of the waterfall. Then you have your fall rock, which is always lower than your two frame rock, which forces the water to flow between these two rocks. This is lower, these two are higher. And you come down through here, you start just learning how to, like, so this is the lowest rock, so it's path of least resistance. Water's gonna come crashing down into this crevice. It's gonna pull up down here. Again, here's the lowest point, path of least resistance. Water's gonna come gushing through this little crevice here, as well as, see, this is not blocked off here. It's gonna come around behind this rock and do a little bit of a chatter down over those rocks. And down here's gonna be one last grand drop. As you can see.
One quick question.
Yeah.
So, you guys being artists, when you were putting this all together, you were using your experience as well with your artistic and emotion and excitement at the same time, and building it as you went.
When the rock's coming in, when the rock's coming in and it's sitting there on a pile in the yard, I already know which half a dozen boulders are the key boulders that have the character that I want to display in the waterfalls, because obviously that's the most artistic part of it. Just by taking a couple circles around that pile of boulders in the yard when you're doing the project, you start picking out the nicest ones, the ones that have the best height, the best angles, and you use those in the waterfalls. Like that one's a key boulder, this is a key boulder, you got that balance going down through here. It's not like all the big rocks are on one side or the other. And you start seeing little things. For instance, this is a great example right here. When I saw this concave, out there in the yard, when I saw this concave in this rock.
Real quick, say it and then keep your name and the name of your business.
So I'm Weston with Weston Zimmerman with Tussey Landscaping out of Podunkville, Pennsylvania, also known as Altoona.
Tussey Landscaping.
Tussey Landscaping.
Okay, now keep going.
All right, hit us up on at Tussey Landscape on Facebook.
Okay,
but anyway,
awesome.
So when I saw this boulder out there in the yard, saw this concave here, I immediately knew I could manipulate this boulder by the way it was set to highlight this concave and make it look like water carved this out. So water's going to become flowing through over top of this rock, and it just looks like water just naturally eroded this rock out and just created this little gush point right here. So you start with you. But anyway, another example of this, like looking for key characteristics in boulders when they're on a pile in the yard. These two boulders, you see, they kind of got a level top, so it looks like a natural seam of rock in nature.
Yeah.
But then they kind of have this. Both of them kind of have this like angular to the center, and this flat rock in here, and it just looks like water just kind of over time eroded these angles off of these rocks, and you don't really have like a. Every rock's different, and it's all subjective. It's art. That's what it is. But when placing these two rocks with these angles and a flat rock behind it, just gives it that natural, channeled out, carved out look.
Yeah. That's cool, and I can picture it. I can't wait to see this on the reveal, man.
Yep.
This is cool.
I'm sure you got clients,
All right, this pond is awesome. So you guys were thinking about putting the pond like way up there, and then you decided, or Logan decided, to put it. You gave him an option, or?
Actually, it was Brian Helfrich. Greg's right-hand man.
Yeah.
And head designer. He came out here and, up top was posing a few different challenges. We had the big eucalyptus tree. Which
and so instead of putting the pond up front by the house, to put it back here?
Yes, okay. We had the big huge tree right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it now that it's dark.
Oh, it's huge. All the stuff would have fell into the pond all the time?
Could have fallen into the pond, but we were concerned about the roots and the slope, the natural slope of the yard was coming this way, and so we would have been fighting the topography. Down here, you can see we have these nice glass doors. There's going to be water in here. He's got the mirror.
Oh yeah, so this would be really cool.
Sound of water. He's going to have the sight of water, cascades coming down with the waterfalls there. All those urns. There's going to be you see the one right there.
Yeah.
And then there'll be two more, and then those will be bubbling up with water as well. So and then this thing's going to light up at night. There'll be lights in the water. There'll be lights on the waterfalls. This is gonna, we've got the little patio in the front right here. This is really just gonna make a nice destination area where he could probably come, have a little bit of quiet time and place to.
It's meditational as well, and and the sound of the water.
Yeah, as Logan would say, it's zen as fuck,
Flavio, where you at? Okay. Come on, gather around, guys. Let's not be too far away. about, what is it, 6 o'clock?
5:20 is it?
5:20.
Oh, it
5:20,
gets
that's
dark
it?
early here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 5:20. We started probably 10, 9:30, 10?
Yeah, 9:30.
9:30. We have got a lot done, but because Logan is only going to be here in the morning, we want to actually get enough done so that we can get this thing running by 10 a.m. for the reveal tomorrow morning at 10. So he's going to be here until 11 o'clock. So we need to work to get to a place tonight where we can put 2 hours in the morning and finish it all up with the landscaping and everything else. So basically do a recap of the day, and let's go ahead and then say what we need to get done for tonight then.
Okay. All right, well, today, phenomenal day. I mean, excavation was a home run. We lucked out with that. Great call on moving the water feature down this way.
I had a good idea, huh?
Made life a lot easier. I think we would definitely struggled up there with the roots, the compacted stone and everything that was around that old patio that was there. So this was a piece of cake. I love the setting, the way the urns and everything are looking here, but we got everything in here that we needed to. The bridge is set, concrete is done, liners in place. The rocks are basically 90+% done. We're waiting on getting that final little gravel. We ran out of some of the gravel. We got to clean everything up. We're going to try to rinse everything down. We might have to have it filled with water. What I also want to do is get all these edges trimmed up. So we're going to go around, we're going to get some knives, we're going to trim up some of the stuff, try to do some of the fine grading. The waterfalls are basically foamed and ready to go. It is early, but I think we can get all that stuff done in the next 2 hours.
2 more hours,
Yeah.
and then 2 hours in the morning to
I
clean
think
it up.
so, and I think we'd be in good shape.
All right. Good job today, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so everybody stop recording.